As Donald Trump's trade war rages on, there's a renewed push to buy Canadian, but it can be tough to find products actually made here. So we've come straight to the source to find out why so few labels say made in Canada.
Making stuff in a first world country, especially like Canada, where the cost of labor is pretty high, the cost of rent is pretty high, it's going to be more expensive to make stuff here for sure. But it also comes with a certain level of quality, design oversight, control, that I think is sort of a key ingredient in making nice clothing.
Kyle Kaminsky founded Bather back in 2013. The bathing suits that his brand sells around the world are all made here in Toronto. For him, keeping production local was a no-brainer.
I got to touch and feel the fabrics. I got to, meet the sewers, see how the product was produced, and sort of be involved in the process from start to finish, which I think has a lot of value in terms of like creating a really good product.
Manufacturing clothing in Canada is now a rarity. Even companies based here have outsourced their production.
When we started the company, there was not many factories making men's swimwear. In Ontario, maybe in the country.
But it wasn't always that way. Canada's clothing industry was robust, but brands started leaving en masse in the 90s.
We had a lot of factories. We had a lot of branch plants that were here because tariffs were high. Montreal was a hot spot for producing clothing. And then what happened is globalization happened. So companies started direct importing from these factories to save a lot of money and also to hit new lower price points.
Lower price points and arguably lower quality. The rise of fast fashion was on, giving customers access to every single trend at a cost that Kyle says makes them disposable.
When you look at fast fashion, it's like these are things that you buy and you wear a couple times and you toss in the garbage. When you buy something from a brand that's making stuff in Canada, in America, in Italy, you're like, this is something I've invested in.
Experts say it's not just tariffs and countermeasures between the U.S. and Canada that will impact us. The American tariffs on countries like China will drive up prices in our market too.
Well, we could see some significant increase in clothing because some of our clothing comes to us via the United States. If the clothing came into Canada directly right now, it probably wouldn't be as big a deal.
Despite the additional upfront costs on manufacturing, Kyle says that making his products here in Canada has made them Trump-proof. So as the temperatures rise for spring, prices on his Canadian-made goods will stay frozen. Brandon Choghri, City News.